which generally relate to non-Pakistani countries. When shall we have the pleasure of your return to Pakistan so that the Pakistanis also share whatever benefit they can draw from you? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Correct, please. The question is that the issue is not in my hands to be decided. Why I am here is not because of my own volition. It is because of a certain decision of the government of Pakistan, which was then controlled by the then dictator General Zia, which left me no option but to leave the country. So if the reason why I am here is not in my control, but in the control of the authorities in Pakistan, then how can I answer this question as to when I shall be able to return? I'll explain why I left the country. After the promulgation of the ordinance by late General Zia, issued on the 26th of April 1984, it was not possible for a head of the Ahmadiyya community to remain functional while he was in Pakistan. And it was not possible at all for him to remain usefully operative in any area of his duties. It was not possible for him to remain in touch with all Pakistani Ahmadis freely and discuss issues which are raised from time to time or which need attention. So the issue was immediately brought to the notice of a hurriedly organized consultative body from all over Pakistan, where I laid down the facts and told them why it was not possible for me to remain functional. The option was either to speak on subjects on which the law prohibited me to open my lips and open my mouth, and then be imprisoned for 3 years or so and cut off from not only Pakistan but from the rest of the world Jamaat. That was one option. And because Khilafat has no substitute, while a Khalifa is out of circulation, you cannot elect a new Khalifa or even a deputy. The Khalifa which has been elected by the Jamaat under Allah's influence cannot be substituted, cannot be replaced. There is no other answer for him if he is not available. So the Jamaat would be then like a headless body, not only in Pakistan but also outside Pakistan. So will you prefer that option, or the other is for me to leave the country and live somewhere where I can freely discharge my responsibilities, and reaching out also to Pakistani Ahmadis like I cannot do while remaining in this country? And the unanimous opinion was, and which was very forcefully expressed, that I must leave the country as soon as possible. I laid a condition on that. I said, I can understand it. This answer was obvious, of course. But I would leave the country only on one condition, on two conditions. Number one, that I will not change my attire. I will not disguise myself in any form. I will be wearing my turban over my head as I leave the boundaries of Pakistan. Secondly, I would certainly not leave the country, whatever the cost may be, if I am served by any notice by the system of justice or by the government authorities for me to appear and explain some position, some allegations against me. Because in that case, I'll be casting a blemish on the character of Khilafat Ahmadiyya, that when the question of not having committed a crime, but a question of any explanation was raised, whatever form of the explanation, instead of facing up to that question boldly and bravely, the Khalifa of any period decided to escape and run away. Now in that case, the blemish will be cast which will never be washed out, because nobody would be able to say whether his position was right or wrong. So that was my problem. So I said, in that case I will not leave the country, and then leave to God whatever He decides. Khilafat is not my affair, it's Allah's affair, and as long as I can discharge the responsibilities honorably, I'll do that, otherwise leave it. So they agreed. So within 3 days of the ordinance, I left the country. And on the 4th day, we received a message a call from the then governor himself, inquiring about me and requiring me to appear before him, to meet him, as he said gently. And that was one of the conditions. So if I had remained even by 1 day more in Pakistan, I could never have left. And secondly, it is very important to note that the time schedule which was arranged after the decision was finally made required me to leave Rabwa and Pakistan after 5 days from then on. Now, this is what we thought was safe and quite reasonable, because I needed so much to do before my departure, because we thought 2-3 days would not be enough. In fact, I was left hardly with 36 hours, because by the time we had taken the decision, already 36 hours had passed since the promulgation of the ordinance. So in that view, we decided to send somebody to the KLM chief there in Karachi and to ask him to have the booking arranged for me after about 5 days from the decision. Now I don't know why. Now I know, it was Allah's decree and it was nothing else. He suggested that instead of taking that plane, which you are suggesting on that particular day, it was, I think, on Wednesday, two planes of KLM left for London. The one was on Monday, between the night of Sunday and Monday, and the other was on Wednesday. So he said, I suggest that he should take the plane on Monday instead. Why did he suggest that? We don't know. When he was asked, he said, I think it would be better. So when my representatives spoke to me on telephone, I said, well, if he says that, maybe Allah knows best. There is something behind that suggestion. So we better take that option, and I'll expedite my departure as soon as possible. So that is how I left within 3 days. And on the 4th day, later on I knew, as I mentioned to you, the governor did call, and once I was made to appear before anybody, any authority, I know positively now, because of some information received by us later on, that it was designed by the government to destroy the institution of Khilafat. First of all, as you know already, by implicating me in some so-called murder, like Mullah Aslam Qureshi, who is now so disgracefully discovered ultimately, and then before anybody knew what was happening, to have me condemned to death by hanging because of that imaginary murder, and that was not impossible. And having done that, they were expecting Jamaat to rise in anger and then to crush us through military force, and to see to it that no new caliph was elected in Rabwa, because the very purpose of the whole exercise was to break the center of Ahmadiyyat. So I at that time didn't fully realize